Hi all, welcome to this session. This session is specifically for the digital pulse modulation. Earlier in the previous sessions, we have seen the pulse time modulation, pulse amplitude modulation, etc., which comes under the analog pulse modulation schemes. So, in this session, we will be dealing with a digital pulse modulation technique called pulse code modulation. Okay, so let us see that. Pulse code modulation is a digital pulse modulation technique where your analog signal, that is your analog varying signal, will be converted to a set of digital data represented by ones and zeros. So the process consists of three steps. The first step is sampling, the second step is quantization, third step is encoding. Okay. After these three steps, you will be getting your digital data. So these numbers, the ones and zeros, will be transmitted. Okay. So the first step is sampling. So we have learned about sampling in the case of pulse amplitude modulation and all, where you need to consider your Nyquist sampling criteria and all. So we will be sampling the analog signal accordingly at regular interval of times. So sampling is the process of taking samples from the analog signal at regular intervals of time. See here you have red colored dots representing your sample values. So this is the sampled signal coming as the red colored signal out of the sampling module. Okay, so the output of the sampling module will be uh, consisting of equally spaced samples representing the amplitude of your analog signal. Now the second step is quantization, where you will be representing the analog amplitude range. That is, here you are having minus a to plus a variation for the sine wave represented here. So this variation range will be represented in a another scale. So here the scale is from 0 to 15. So it's not 15 volt or 15 ampere or something. It is just a number. So it represents, the number is represented from 0 to 15, and it represents the variation of the sine wave of this wave of your modulating signal. And you can say this 0 represents your minus a and 15 represents your plus a, somewhat similar like that. And this minus a and plus a can be like minus 3 or plus 3, or say for instance minus 2 to plus 5 volt change, like that. But in the case of this scale, this digital scale, you are having a variation from 0 to 15, that is a total number of 16 states, and there will not be any intermediate states in between. So for instance, in between 0 and 1 there is no state. So these are all discrete states. So your sampled values should be approximated to any of these states. Okay, so the nearest state will be taken and your sample value will be approximated to its amplitude. So instead of putting in between the states, you will be representing your sampled signal onto either of these states, not between the states. So here you have represented the first sample onto 8, the state 8, and the second sample on state 9, third sample on state 11, fourth sample on state 13, fifth on 14, sixth, seventh, and eighth on 15. Okay, so it cannot come in between. That is why it is approximated. Okay, so this approximation in the amplitude to a quantized level is called quantization of a signal. So after quantization of this signal, there will be some errors, and those errors are called quantization noise or quantization error. That is happening because we are doing an approximation. Actual samples are analog variation samples, but we are approximating its amplitude to a specific discrete level. So that is why there will be an error introduced by this process called quantizing. And if the number of levels, that is here it is 16 number of levels, and if we increase that 16 to 32, there will be more levels coming in between, and your approximations will be representing your actual variation better. So when you increase the number of quantization levels, the better will be your sampling, better will be your signal getting represented. And then we will be converting each of these samples to its corresponding digital representation. So 0, suppose this is a 16 bit, 4 bit representation. So it will be 0 will be represented by 0000, 15 will be represented by 1111, and 8 will be represented by 1000. Okay, so I'll be sending 8 as 1000, 9 as 1001, like that. So my digital data will be a digital representation of these numbers, corresponding amplitude numbers, discrete numbers. Okay, so that is what is done in the encoding process. So the third step is, after the quantized signal is obtained, you will be representing each of these samples by its digital number. So this is your digital binary data that is going to be transmitted. So let us see an example of a quantization. So the blue colored line here represents your analog signal variation, and the the red colored lines, the red colored dots will be representing your sampled signal. And you can see that there are many quantization levels. The dashed lines represent the quantization levels. See, there are say 8 levels are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 levels are there, and they are separated by a boundary. See, the solid lines represent the boundary. Now when you approximate the red colored sampled signals, then you have to consider the nearest possible quantization level. So when you consider this sample, this second sample, the red colored sample here, then it is just below this boundary, this solid boundary, and just above this dashed line, this quantization level. That is the quantization level 110. Okay, so I can approximate it to 110. The next one is already on a quantization level, so there is no need for approximation. It will be lying on there. The fourth one is on the quantization level itself, so there is no need for approximation. Then the fifth one is just below a quantization level and above a boundary, so it has to be approximated to this level, that is 100, the level 100. Okay, and similarly like that. So here you will be approximating it to the level just below, because it is below this boundary. The actual sampled value is lying below the boundary, so it will be approximated to the nearest quantization level, and it goes on like this. So each of these samples, the green colored dots will be representing our quantized signal, and these green colored dots has to be encoded into digital representation. So for that we will be taking the digital representation of this. So the first sample is represented by 110. That is why your PCM sequence will be starting with 110, a digital data 110, and correspondingly you will be having a representation of 1 by the pulse, like this. The next one also will be represented by a pulse. Then it comes into a trough, so that represents 0. So 110. So this 3 pulse will be representing your first sample. The second sample will be represented by the next 3 pulses. So this is 110. So the next one is also 110. Okay, so here also 110. See, 110. Then the third sample is represented by 111. So that is why the PCM sequence is 111. Correspondingly, you will be having 3 peaks of your pulse, 111. Okay, which represents this one, and this is represented by 110. The fourth sample is represented by 110. See, here there is 110. That will be represented here like 2 peaks and 1 trough, 110. Okay, and similarly it goes on like this. So the PCM sequence is this. So the third step is encoding, and in the process of encoding you will be converting each of these sampled and quantized green colored dots into its corresponding PCM sequence, or the PCM code word is being sent. So this is the PCM code word, and it will be sent like this as a series of pulses and troughs, peaks and troughs. Okay, so this is the essence of pulse code modulation. Thank you all.